Hey there, this is Angela Brown. I'm the host of the Sexy Thyroid Solutions. So today I want to teach you all about thyroid stimulating exercises. So I want to discuss with you what kind of exercises are good and what you kind of need to avoid for stimulating the thyroid and why it's so important for you to do it. But first, if you could do me a huge favor, I would love if you would like and subscribe to my channel. So you just got to hit the little bell and you'll subscribe to my channel and you'll get a notification every single Thursday when I release my new video. It comes out on Thursdays on IGTV. It's going to be on Tuesdays. So you'll get a notification when that video has been released. So let's just go ahead and dive in here. So first I want to talk about why is it so important for the thyroid to do exercise. So there's still a really important thing you need to remember whenever you're exercising for your thyroid. There's a line to draw with it. So you can't overkill it. Every time you exercise, you release cortisol. Cortisol is kind of your fight or flight. So if you overstimulate that and you release too much cortisol, that's not really good for your thyroid. So you still have to be careful with how much you're getting your cortisol levels to go up during exercise. So there's still going to be an importance that you're going to have to figure out what works for you. But here's some of the reasons why I think exercising is so important for the thyroid. First and foremost is you're going to get an increase in your free thyroid hormone concentration. So your free T3 and your free T4. T4 is the inactive thyroid. T3 is the active thyroid hormone. You're going to get a pretty significant increase in these levels by exercising. The other part is then your TSH number will start to go down a little bit. And if any of you know what TSH does, TSH, when it gets really high, it kind of tells the thyroid to kind of slow down and it stops producing thyroid hormone. So when you could get that TSH number down a little bit, that will help. So one big factor right there for why I suggest doing exercise for the thyroid. The other part is decreasing inflammation. So whenever you exercise, again, it's within reason for your body, what your body tolerates. But anytime you see a decrease in inflammation, you're also going to get an increase in conversion of T4, which is your inactive thyroid, to your T3, which is the active thyroid. So any increase in active T3 is going to be really good for your metabolism, for weight loss, for thyroid health. So that's a really big way that I see inflammation will help. The other thing is it increases your immune response. And if you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, this is when you have your thyroid is sluggish, but it's sluggish because there's an immune response. Your body's basically attacking your thyroid. So you'll get a really good increase in response to the immune system by exercising. So that helps as well. And then just overall increasing metabolism. Every time you get that inflammation to kind of quell down, your metabolism will increase. So another really good reason why it's important to exercise for thyroid and for metabolism. So when I'm talking about exercise, what do I mean by this? So I talked a little bit about that there's still this line to draw with how you exercise. The first thing that I find really helpful, particularly for females, is strength training. Strength training is ignored a lot. A lot of women think they're going to get bulky. They're too scared to strength train. I'm not talking about doing heavy weights. I'm talking about doing weights that are important for you, that you can lift. But strength training is really good at building lean muscle mass. Anytime you're building lean muscle mass, that's going to help your metabolism. And again, it's going to help your thyroid. So that's one big thing that you can try. Strength training also, I recommend about 1 to 3 times a week. You don't need to overkill it. If 3 is good for you, go for it. If it's too hard for you, I would stick to 1 time a week, but at least get once a weekend of strength training. And yoga is a really good thing too. I'm absolutely horrible at yoga, but I have found that if I at least do some of the moves at least once a week, that will help kind of keep my flexibility and stretching going. That's really important for the thyroid and metabolism. And then walking. Walk as much as you can. I don't care if you're by yourself, if you take the dog, if you're going with a friend. I don't care if it's for 5 minutes or it's for an hour, but walking should not be intense. Walking should be, you're going for a stroll. It's to clear your mind. It's to flush the toxins and stuff like that. It's to help your body just kind of relax. So walking is really good. You could do it every day if you really wanted to. And then let's talk about intensity intervals. So HIIT training, which is high intensity interval training. I love this. I do it twice a week, but here's my caveat with HIIT training. It's high intensity intervals. Interval means it should be short. And I see too many people that do HIIT training for an hour. HIIT training should never be that long. When I do mine, I'm at 10-15 minutes tops. It's going to be super intense. I'm going to get a whole bunch of stuff in that short amount of time, and I'm going to fluctuate my heart rate up and down during it. That's high intensity interval training. So you don't need to kill yourself for an hour to get HIIT training in. And honestly, for your thyroid, you're gonna make your thyroid really sluggish if you continue to do that intensity for that long. That's the whole point of it being called intervals, is it should be short. You're gonna put a pretty max effort into it with as much effort and intensity as you can, but again, it's going to be short. So high intensity interval training for me, it could be jump roping, it could be I take a jog and I do a walk run, I alternate those. It could be boxing, I do boxing drills all the time. I've been doing that a lot more lately. You know, you can make interval training what you like, but again, it's intervals, so you can't kill yourself on it. So I try to do 2 times a week typically is what I would recommend, you know, if you're suffering from a slow thyroid, a couple times a week. The other part that I find important with high intensity interval training is you should never do a really big amount of high intensity interval training. If you're doing even 15 minutes, like literally the same right after or before you do a big strength training workout. That can be really hard. It's a lot of cortisol being released, and a lot of people with a slow thyroid or slow metabolism just can't tolerate that. So I try to, if it ends up being a day where I need to do strength training and I need to do my intervals, I'm gonna split those up. Even if it's an hour away from each other, I'm still gonna split those up so they're not back to back. So that's one really important factor to remember. So here's something that you also need to keep in mind. If you do your workouts and the next day, you're not just tired, like you just had a really hard day the day before, or like your thyroid sluggish. You're thoroughly exhausted that you can't even raise your head off the bed and you can't hardly move. You overdid that exercise the day before. So chill it. You got to step back, okay? You have to, there's still a line to draw. Like I said, if you get to the point where you are so exhausted that you can barely even function, that was way too intense for you. You have to dial it back, because the more cortisol that your body releases during a workout and leaves you so thoroughly exhausted the next day, that means you're going to have less free T3, less free T4, the thyroid hormones. You're going to have less of that. So don't overkill it. Again, you've got to find your sweet spot. It took me a long time to find my sweet spot, but I think I kind of finally figured it out. So I do strength training at least 3 days a week, and I do intervals twice a week. Try to stretch as much as I can. I'm not the best at it, but I do try to still incorporate that. So hope this helps you. Let me know too, like, what do you do? What have you found? Is there like a sweet spot that you have found that helps you to kind of keep your exercise going but doesn't kill your thyroid? I would love to know what you do as well, because I'm always open to suggestions that might even help me or help my clients. So give me a shout out. Let me know what you do, because I would love to know. And don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to my page. That way you get the notifications whenever I have a new video out. I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. And then again, let me know if you need anything else. I do still have my free guide up, so if you want more suggestions on what you can do to kind of boost that thyroid, boost your metabolism, grab my free guide. The link is going to be below, so you can get that, and you know, just sign up for that so you get it emailed to you, and you'll have some suggestions there as well. So hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.